Championship week means it's time to get all dressed up for the big dance, or in Macy's case, all dressed up for an award show. We'll explain. She'll explain. Fantasy baseball is just that, fantasy. So imagine this, everybody. So your fantasy team is great. You've blown away Macy's lousy team in May or June, and you're competing with this guy right here for the championship, the Mark and Macy Show Fantasy Baseball League Championship at the wire. Can you imagine? All right, this is the Mark and Macy Show. We come your way every Thursday night. We're here, even though Macy has much better things to do, bigger and better things, way beyond us. She's not big timing us tonight. She did drop by to talk a little sports here for a little while, Macy.
Yeah, not necessarily presenting myself in the best way, but it's better than nothing. So, of course, it's Thursday. I'm excited to be here. It's my favorite night of the week, favorite time of the week. So, I love it, and thanks for anyone who's joining us. And fantasy baseball. I mean, I've played it before. I took a little break from it, but now I'm back. I'm ready to win. I'm hungry for a win. We had a good amount of people sign up. We're still looking to fill a few more spots. A couple girls have joined, so ladies, do not feel that this is only a men's thing, because girls are going to dominate, and I believe in girl power. So the more the merrier. But if you want to join us in fantasy baseball, you can send us a tweet with your email. We just need your email address so that we can send you an invite. So get in contact with us anyway. You can go to both of our Twitters. You can go to our Twitter handle, The Mark and Macy Show, and we can sign you up. We're competitive.
Macy, see what you can get away with. You can come on here and say, I'm into girl power. If I came on here and said, I'm into guy power, how would that go over?
I don't know. I just know girl power is huge. I was a big Spice Girls fan growing up. That was their thing. So I've just stuck with it.
So let's see. We got our website, the Mark and Macy Show.webs.com. We've got our Twitter page, Mark and Macy. Please join us there, and on YouTube as well. And we had a really nice show last week. We talked the Aaron Andrews trial, not just the two of us, but somebody who was directly involved and covering the trial, Kelly Rippin from WZTV in Nashville. We were supposed to have on Pat Muldowney tonight, but Pat is so sorry he couldn't make it. So sorry. He wants to do the show so badly, and he's bummed out, but he had a bunch of edits and things to do for a big meeting. And so it might be a better night for him to jump on. He could really help us out during the NBA finals, NBA playoffs. He's a huge NBA guy, and March Madness is his thing too. So next week we could dive in with Pat on a little March Madness. But we kind of teased everybody, Macy. You've got a big weekend here, so I've kind of heard about it. Would like to hear a little bit more about your big awards weekend.
Yes, so I have been invited to not only cover the Maxwell Club Awards, but also present some awards, hold some awards, and present them to players. So I'm a little nervous right now. I can't lie. For this, I've worked with millions of athletes, but when you're put on a big stage, like they say, in the lights, and up there with some of the best guys in the game, it's going to be exciting. So some of the guys that have won, Cam Newton, Ron Rivera, those are some of the big names. They're going. A couple college guys, Derrick Henry will be there. Just the standouts from this past year. So I'm super excited, super nervous. This is, I've done something like this before, but this is on a much bigger level. So I'm beyond excited. I'm almost at a loss of words, and I just hope I can take it all in while I'm there, and I don't just, boom, it's over and done.
Well, it's going to be over pretty quickly, and it is. That's one of those things where you get involved in it, and then you realize afterwards, wow, I didn't really soak it in because I'm kind of hyped up and everything, and understandably so. You're excited, and it would be a little nerve-wracking. The Maxwell Award. So as a college football guy, I know the Maxwell Awards as they relate to college football, but apparently I didn't know this until we were talking the other day, that they cover sports across the board, or is it just football?
It's just football. And what's actually really cool, and I mean, of course, big names are great. You know, everybody wants to have all these athletes here, but they do NFL, college, and even some high school kids. And one of the high school kids that won an award is a kid I've been covering for the past 2 years. So being able to reconnect with him and already knowing him and seeing, you know, how much his career has progressed and you know, not that I want to say I was one of the first people to report on him, but I was one of the first people to really start covering him and noticing his talent and skills. So I'm excited to see him at this level and say, congratulations, you've made it, you know, because there's always so many doubts when you're young. There's so many things about, you know, what school am I going to go to? Who's going to want me? Where am I going to go from here? And he's smart. He's very athletic. And now he's already winning an award as a senior in high school.
So to win a national award at that level, he's obviously a great player.
Mm-hmm.
And is there anything else involved, like academics or citizenship or anything else? Do you know?
I think it's like being like an all-around type of athlete guy. His name is Brandon McElwain. He's going to South Carolina, and he actually plays baseball too. And that was one of the reasons why he committed to that school, because baseball is such a big thing in his life. Football is huge. I mean, he was the quarterback on the team. He was punting. He was defense. This kid is so athletic and just talented, no matter where you put him on the field. But he's an amazing baseball player too. So, you know, he looked at schools like Penn State, and knowing from Penn State's got a great football program, but their baseball program, it's still up and coming. Whereas South Carolina is a little bit more developed. You know, it's a bigger program. So he picked the school based on where he can play both sports and really be successful.
Yeah, that's big time stuff in the SEC. Obviously, the baseball programs down there are really, really good. Just check out a collegiate baseball top 25 at any point in the season, and you will see 7-8 SEC teams. It's basically like football, but the baseball dominates as well. It's obviously tied to the weather. The West Coast does well, the Pac-12 and the SEC as well in baseball. So do you have anything else to tell us about the show? You're going to have to come back, obviously. Well, you kind of have to come back next week. Your name's attached to the show, but you're going to have to tell us about it next week. So.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm going to be, you know, live tweeting. Well, I don't know about live tweeting it because I don't know how much I have my phone, but definitely going to be putting updates throughout the weekend and the next couple of days. So you can definitely check it out there. I'll even put some on our show Twitter too, so you can find them, and it will be cool. And maybe we can get a guest for our show.
Yeah. Don't be live tweeting when you're supposed to be like getting your cue to
Yeah, no, that's a good idea.
Good stuff. So we were talking a couple hours ago, and you were talking about getting ready for the big award show, and it made me think back to I can't compete, but I'm just to kind of fill out my half of the show here and add, let's see, award shows. So I thought of 3 instances. One would be, as I've stated on my Twitter, the Mississippi Associated Press Sportscasting Award. So I was fortunate enough to win 3 times there. I didn't go the first 2 times, and then the station, my station manager basically called me into his office the 3rd time and said, "You need to go to the awards and pick up your award in person. We want you to go." So anyway, that was one time. And then the other 2 experiences were much more cool than that. I was selected to present advertising awards in Mississippi. That's where I worked at the time. And I found out a couple days prior to I was going to be presenting with Eddie Payton. Eddie Payton is Walter Payton's brother. And this guy was phenomenal. Never met the guy before. I showed up like a half hour before. We hung out together for a little while. We clicked and connected, and we had a blast. Like it was amazing that I presented the awards with this guy, Walter Payton's brother. And what was really sad at the time was this was just after Walter Payton had passed away. And so I was presenting with Eddie Payton, and man, the guy was just a great guy. It's amazing when you meet somebody like that and it's not awkward. Like we immediately, like this guy was so cool that I had only known him for 15 minutes. and we're up at a podium, and he's like cutting on me, like, and we were like cutting on each other, and it was like, this was crazy that we clicked that soon, and he also played in the NFL as well. Actually, one of the few guys to return a punt for a touchdown and a kickoff in the same game for a touchdown for the Detroit Lions. And then my other awards story that I could think of was I was asked to host the Fellowship of Christian Athletes Awards, also in Mississippi. The Mississippi State head football coach at the time, Jackie Sherrill, was one of the big presenters. And then I found out for that Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner, and being an Ohio State fan, this was like, wow. The only guy to win 2 Heismans, Archie Griffin, was going to be the guest speaker, was going to be the main speaker at this event. So it was very strange because this was like a 7 o'clock event. And Knight Rider, thanks for joining us. You probably had difficult finding us tonight, so thanks for catching up to us. But it was a really cool situation there because I had a sportscast to do at 6 o'clock, and then I was supposed to go to the awards banquet and do that. And it hit me at like 2 or 3 in the afternoon to try to pull some power plays, and I was lucky enough to get Archie Griffin to come down to the station, and that was my sportscast. I wiped out my sportscast, and I just sat in the newsroom with Archie Griffin for like 5 or 6 minutes and interviewed him for my sportscast, and that was my sportscast. And again, being an Ohio State fan, that was like awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, that is cool.
Just interview a legend of college football, and then a couple hours later, introduce him at the podium. So those are my awards stories. That's the best I could do.
Very cool. I mean, I haven't won any awards yet. The only award I get is when I try and cook something and don't burn down the house. So that's the only award I've got going for me right now. I have attended the NHL awards, which was like the coolest thing ever. And you know, it's really interesting to watch something like that on TV and then go experience it in real life. And it's amazing how much work is put into a production or a show, just like anything else on TV. But to see an award show where you think it's just so like, oh, you know, people just walk out, give them an award, walk off. It's not like that. It's so planned. It's so timed. It's so, you know, it's so amazing to see that happen. And even there were people coming in and filling the seats so that it never looked empty. If, you know, if someone got up to go speak or accept an award, someone came in and filled their seat, which I thought was crazy, but that was actually, you know, a handful of people's jobs were seat fillers, which it was just really, really cool to see everything that goes into it. So I'm really excited for tomorrow. I mean, I love hockey, but I love football. And I love football at high school level. I love football in college, and I love it in the NFL. So to see all 3 of those, plus all of the people that are going to be there, I mean, I'm honored. I'm thrilled. I can't wait to network. You know, this is like my Christmas. You know, like people get that feeling towards Christmas that I never got that we used to talk about. This right here is my Christmas Eve. This is what gets me super pumped.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm sure it's going to be a great experience, and you'll have a great time. And yeah, the adrenaline's going to be pumping, and there are going to be some nerves, but good nerves. And yeah, I'm sure you'll do amazing.
Yeah, just have to make sure I smile at all times.
Yeah, it's one of those jobs where no matter how you're feeling, you got to just put the smile on, put the cheesy smile on. Maybe not too cheesy, but yeah,
that's what I'm afraid of. Like,
I'm sure you'll hit the smile meter just right.
Yeah, hope so.
All right, Knight Rider's worried about the Yankees having a terrible spring. Knight Rider, don't worry. I think the spring's fine. I don't believe in spring training records, exhibition records. I think you got a pretty good team that's going to compete in the American League East. And, of course, if you'd like to join us on our Fantasy Baseball League, contact Macy or myself, or jump on our Twitter page and contact us there. So we have some ideas of what we want to do for our fantasy draft. We'll unveil those next week. And that should be a good time as well, fantasy baseball. And so I've been talking trash, and I guess that's the edge that I have in teasing the show and introing the show and starting us out as I can do that. So Macy, you know, anytime you want to start the show, then you're going to have that wide open to take your shots at me.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't do too much trash talk. I just let it show in my results, you know?
I usually don't either, but
I know, it's easy just to trash talk. I know.
Little fun jumping on that. So yeah, I think next week we will have a fun show. We can, again, maybe we'll have Pat Muldowney. He's the social media manager at Fox Sports. He used to work at ESPN with me. Great guy. Yeah, Knight Rider. She probably will marry me. But before we play any actual games and see it play out, I can talk it up, right? Because
of course.
So we'll have March Madness to talk about again next week, and we'll unveil our fantasy baseball league and how we're going to set up the draft and do all of that. And I know it's a little bit early to be talking NFL draft, but I love the NFL draft, and I'm sure we'll dive into that in the next few months. And, of course, it's going to be baseball season. And, Macy, you're telling me that you even watch golf, so I'm going to have to study up on the Masters so we can talk some golf.
Yeah, we've got a lot coming up. We kind of are just getting to the end of that, you know, dull winter sports season where there's not much going on. And now it's boom, 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 one after another. So get ready because we're going to have so much to talk about. We might have to make the show longer than it normally is. And it's going to be all great stuff between our fantasy league, you know, March Madness, which I'm so excited for, which we can still make that a competition. We can do brackets. You know, there's so many cool things coming up. I do love the NFL draft. I love golf. So let's do it all.
Okay, so everybody out there, whether you're watching currently or you're watching the record, here's the deal. Yeah, like Macy said, our show is typically a lot longer. We were shooting for a half hour originally, then we get our mouths going, and it's usually more like 55 minutes or so. Tonight, we're going to cut it short because Macy's got a big day tomorrow. Big day covering the Maxwell Awards and also participating in the Maxwell Awards. That should be very exciting. So she needs to kind of cut it short, get going. So again, fantasy baseball players, we want you to be part of our league. Contact us either on one of our Twitter pages or the Mark and Macy Show Twitter page. And please catch us at our website, markandmacyshow.webs.com, and of course on YouTube as well. We also release this as an audio podcast that's been doing fairly well as well, and on Facebook. So we try to get it out there in any way you'd like to consume it, and jump on our previous shows because we've had a lot of fun with guys like former New York Giants and Norris Moss. You can catch that on YouTube. Again, last week with Kelly Rippon, and we're going to have some really good guests coming up as well. All right, yeah. We're going to let you hit the road.
Thanks. I'm so excited, but I will definitely be in touch with you guys, and I'll see how much I can get out there for you guys to see. And you can join me on my little journey, and we'll talk all about it next week for sure.
Excellent. Good stuff. All right, everyone. We will see you next time. It's Thursday, of course, around 6:45, the Mark and Macy Show. See you next time.